Have you ever held a prize in your hand and felt it turn to smoke before the receipt even hit the floor? The city of the mind never sleeps. It just waits for the next neon sign to flicker to life. You chased the high, that sleek, boxed promise of a better version of yourself. You swiped the card, the digital ink dried instantly, and for 3 seconds, the world was silent. But the silence is a liar. It's the heavy, humid quiet before the shadow of the next thing stretches across your desk, demanding tribute. The high is a ghost. The hunger is the only thing that's real. The algorithm is a street-smart informant, whispering that you're just one transaction away from completion. It feeds the social mirror until you can't recognize the person staring back without the weight of the latest upgrade. You aren't buying a product. You're buying a temporary, expensive truce with a craving that doesn't know how to die. It's a recurring debt paid in the currency of your peace. The joy didn't leave because you chose the wrong item. It left because the treadmill is designed to keep you running in place. Why does your brain lie to you about what makes it happy? Under the hood, in the damp, rain-slicked alleys of your biology, there is a crooked informant. We call him dopamine. He doesn't live in the penthouse of satisfaction. He lives in the basement of anticipation. He's the one leaning against the brickwork of your midbrain, whispering that the next hit, the next purchase, the next like, the next upgrade is the big one. He's not interested in your long-term wealth. He's a middleman for a biological system that only cares about the hunt. Dopamine is the dealer of almost. He never delivers enough. The neuroscience is a cold case file. When you see that sleek leather wallet or that high-spec laptop, your ventral tegmental area fires a flare into the dark. It's a chemical promise. But here's the catch the informant doesn't tell you. Your brain is a master of homeostasis, a tireless regulator that hates extremes. The moment you win, the brain's internal thermostat kicks in to bring you back to the baseline. It's called hedonic adaptation. Think of your prefrontal cortex as a tired detective in a city of neon impulses. He's trying to keep order, trying to balance the books. But the limbic system is louder, faster, and it has a direct line to your pulse. As soon as you unbox the prize, the detective realizes the joy was just a temporary spike in the data. The brain resets the counter to 0. It has to. If we stayed at a 10 of happiness forever, we wouldn't notice the predator in the grass or the opportunity on the horizon. We are evolutionarily programmed to become bored with what we already possess. The treadmill isn't broken. It is working perfectly. It is designed to ensure that no matter how fast you run, the scenery of your soul never actually changes. You're caught in the dopamine loop. The anticipation builds the tension, the purchase releases it. But the release is momentary, because the brain is a prediction machine. The new becomes normal in a matter of hours. The leather loses its scent. The screen loses its glow. And the crooked informant is already back on the corner, pointing toward the next shop window, promising that this time the feeling will stay. We are biological hoarders of more, living in a modern world that has weaponized this ancient survival mechanism. The market doesn't sell you products. It sells you a temporary escape from the baseline it helped create. You aren't failing a test of willpower. You are losing a rigged game against your own neurochemistry. The detective is exhausted, the city is loud, and the informant is winning. The thrill is the bait. The baseline is the trap. We keep buying because we mistake the relief of ending a craving for the presence of genuine joy. It's like hitting your head against a wall just to feel the relief when you stop. But the wall is still there. The debt is still there. And the silence after the purchase isn't peace. It's just the sound of the treadmill resetting for the next round. If you don't recognize the machinery, you'll spend your entire life servicing the engine of your own discontent. The hedonic treadmill is a race where the finish line moves exactly as fast as your feet. Who really owns the keys to your contentment? You or the ghost in the machine? The city is full of voices telling you that enough is always one more zero away. But 2,000 years ago, the Stoics were already walking these same rain-slicked streets of the human psyche. They saw the treadmill for what it was, a voluntary prison. Seneca, a man who knew the weight of both gold and chains, looked at the flickering neon of desire and whispered a truth that still vibrates through the paper today. He didn't offer a budget. He offered a rebellion. Wealth isn't a number. It's a lack of desire. The Stoic doesn't try to outrun the treadmill. He simply steps off. While the dopamine informant is busy selling you a future that never arrives, Stoicism acts as the heavy, iron anchor in the storm of more. It shifts the focus from the object of desire to the nature of the desiring mind. Epictetus, born into slavery but freer than any king, taught that the only things we truly own are our opinions, our intentions, and our reactions. Everything else, the sleek car, the designer label, the digital status, is indifferent. It's preferred, perhaps, but it is not the source of the soul's light. Imagine your desire as a fire. The world tells you to keep feeding it more wood, more fuel, more stuff to keep the chill away. But the Stoic realizes that the more fuel you add, the hotter the fire burns, and the more wood it demands. The only way to win is to stop feeding the flame. To be wealthy is not to have great possessions, but to have few wants. It is the ultimate hack of the human operating system. In the noir landscape of your mind, Stoicism is the detective who stops chasing the suspects and starts questioning the laws of the city itself. It asks, what if you already have everything required for a good life? If the dopamine spike is temporary by design, then chasing it is a mathematical error. The anchor is the realization that your value is not a floating currency subject to the market's whims. When you detach your identity from your acquisitions, the treadmill loses its power to move you. You become the observer of the craving rather than its servant. You look at the buy button not as a gateway to joy, but as a test of your internal fortress. You practice premeditatio malorum, the contemplation of loss. You imagine the things you crave disappearing. You realize that you would still be you without them. In that realization, the shimmering ghost of the purchase loses its glow. The charcoal lines of your life become steady, firm, and unshakable. The market sells better. The Stoic practices enough. This isn't about deprivation. It's about sovereignty. It's about deciding that your peace of mind is too expensive a price to pay for a temporary chemical surge. You are reclaiming the territory of your attention from the algorithms and the informants. You are building a sanctuary where the new has no authority over the good. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor. What remains of you when the neon lights of your desires finally flicker out? The music thins to a single, resonant cello note, a heartbeat in the dark. We are no longer in the rain-slicked streets. We are back at the desk, looking at the textured grain of the paper. This is the inner sanctuary. It's not a place you buy with a credit card. It's a fortress you build through the quiet, consistent act of refusal. The hedonic treadmill only moves if you provide the power. When you stop running, the machine dies. The exit is not a door. It is a decision. To live with the Stoic wallet is to practice a form of intellectual healing. It is the realization that your bank account is a tool for freedom, not a scorecard for your soul. You begin to see every want as a potential chain, and every no as a stroke of the pen across your own emancipation papers. You stop asking, "Can I afford it?" and start asking, "Does this own me? Or do I own it?" Wealth, in its purest form, is the ability to look at a world designed to make you feel incomplete and realize that you are already whole. It is the silence that follows the storm of craving. It is the steady hand that draws a line in the charcoal and says, "This far and no further." You are no longer the detective chasing ghosts. You are the architect of your own stillness. The greatest luxury is not the ability to buy everything, but the power to need nothing. True wealth is the time you buy back from the treadmill. The city will always be there, flickering with promises of a better you, just one purchase away. But you have the anchor now. You have the lens. The paper is clean, the ink is dry, and the sanctuary is open. Step off the machine. Breathe. The hunt is over. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. The path of the minimalist architect is not walked alone. If you are ready to stop running and start building a life of sovereign peace, the gate is open. Subscribe to join the Order of the Stoic Wallet, and let us reconstruct the blueprint of your wealth together.